Have you guys ever wondered what it actually takes to reach Master's rank? Now, whether you're hard stuck in Diamond 4 or you're still making your way through other ranks and have just thought, man, I really want that purple dive trail and that Master's badge, well, good news. This one right here is for you. In this video, I'm going to lay out 5 of my best tips so that you can achieve Master's rank. And I know I'm a little late with this video because Storm Point will be rotating over to World's Edge for the second split, but I want you to know the tips would be the exact same thing if it's going to be World's Edge, Storm Point, or any other map. And before I get into the tips, I want to mention to anyone who's new here that my channel centers around helping you all improve at Apex Legends. And with that said, now let's dive right into these 5 tips. Tip number 1, squad up. If you guys want to gain consistent RP, well then don't try to think you are going to do that solo queuing. In these higher elo lobbies, you got to be able to trust your teammates and you need to be on comms with one another. And I know, some of you are like, get teammates, blah, blah, blah. You told me this before, but I got to keep it real with you guys. 99% of the player base is not going to be able to solo queue to Masters. And if they are, well, they probably have a lot more time on their hands than the majority of you will. So make it easier on yourself and more enjoyable by finding a team that you can consistently play with and gain RP with. As I'm sure some of you watching this are aware, I did a solo queue to Masters video back in Season 8, and I can tell you that more than 90% of my randoms I got did not use their mic. Like, they did not say a word most games. So I gotta speak on that real quick. If you are solo queuing diamond lobbies with 0 communication, please, for the love of God, stop. It's terrible for your teammates, and you most likely are not going to rank up. And as I mentioned before, pings tell only so much of the story. They don't tell us specifics though. And this is where the teams that have more information from voice comms are going to execute fights more efficiently, time and time again. So right off the rip, if my team isn't communicating, we are already at a disadvantage. To add on to that, you and your teammates need to constantly be trying to perfect your communication skills. As someone who's made it to Masters multiple times, I want to tell you one of the best assets a player can have, being a very good communicator and a very good listener. If you guys are enjoying this video, I need you to go ahead and smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. I worked really hard on this video, and smashing the like button is free and it helps push my video out to more viewers. As always, there's a clip of me skating at the end of this video. So thank you for doing that. Tip number 2, early KP is better, but not mandatory. Now, most of you guys know Apex changed up the KP multiplier system this season. And although they made it way more complicated than it needed to be, all you really need to understand is the game really favors kill points now. So in diamond lobbies where the buy-in is -48, it means you need to have some KP while you head into endgame. Players often ask me in coaching sessions, do I land safe or should I take an early fight and contest the team? And the answer is, it depends. If you and your team have lost a good amount of RP the past few games, then yeah, take the safer route of landing uncontested and at least feel decent with your loadouts and armor, and then you can go look for a fight. But for me, I trust my teammates, and I understand not everyone watching this will. So for us, we will 100% 50-50 any team in these lobbies. But there are some contingencies. Things to consider are, what is the POI? And if I see a team trying to slide in and land close because they're preying on a third party, which does happen often, then I'm not going to take that 50-50. Players in these lobbies are hyper aware of third partying. It happens often. And you need to be a hawk here and always assess your drop spots of who went where and how close is the next possible team. If you get anywhere from 2 to 4 KP, well then great, because you've got one mission, and that is get to end game. You will certainly have another opportunity to get more KP, and if you can position yourself for the win, this is going to help you guys out the most. This will help secure the max amount of RP you can possibly get. There were many times my team and I would have 3 to 4 KP, get to end game, drop a couple more kills, and maybe we didn't win the game and we came in second or third, but as a result, we'd still end up gaining well over 100 RP. So it's nothing you can get too mad about, even if you don't win the game. So having that KP as you get to end game is like an insurance policy on your RP for that game. Tip number 3, focus on zone placement. Speaking of playing for the win, let's briefly deep dive into what this means and what it looks like. I'm going to level with you guys. A lot of players in these lobbies don't rotate early. In fact, a lot will rotate super late, run into another team, grief one another, and they both end up dying. Some players in Diamond don't actually use their brain, so if you use yours and get ahead, well, yeah, you got that going for you, I guess. Just use your brain. Don't practice the habit of rotating late unless you have Valkyrie and Gibby, and you absolutely have to. It's always better to be holding position in zone, and generally if you aren't rotating late, you can establish yourself in the best possible real estate. See, there's a lot wrong with rotating late. The pressure from the higher storms will kill you, and quickly. On top of that, good players will try to hold you out, and you can't afford that. So in most games, if you scan a survey beacon, you could quickly find your team is the only one in zone. I really can't exaggerate this point enough. If you rotate late, well, most games, you'll be joining a ton of other teams doing the same, which is only going to create more problems for you. So make sure to have at least one recon legend on your team so you can be scanning survey beacons to gain knowledge on the next zone. This will help guide your next rotation, and this will help you get familiar with a lot of the reoccurring endgame circles. Tip number 4, focus on your opportunity costs. You guys had to know I was going to speak on game sense, right? Everyone in dive-in lobbies knows how to shoot their guns, so you shouldn't ever underestimate your enemies, but you need to still remain confident that no opponent is better than you. If you guys underestimate, you may let your guard down and get put down in an unexpected way. But on the flip side, if you think everybody's a sweat and is way better than you, well, then you psych yourself out well before the fight is even over. Well, what does opportunity cost really mean in this context? Well, you got to think about your RP. Are you up because you have some KP, or are you still negative because it's top 10 and you have 0 KP? Assessing what possible fights to take is going to help you learn the best opportunities to take advantage of. Don't just blindly run at fights because you hear gunshots. Think about everything. How many squads are left alive? What zone is it? What weapons do we have? Where on the map is this fight? Where on the map is the game going to end? Is the fight going down at the edge of the map, or is it in the middle where it's 10 times more likely to get third and fourth partied? See, everything matters, and I talk about this in just about every video of mine because it needs to be spoken about. You guys really want to improve at Apex? Well, you got to be increasing your game sense day in and day out, and that includes taking everything into account and assessing the next smartest decision to be made. Tip number 5, don't give up. I know most of you watching this will be struggling getting to Masters, but I want to let you know something. Just because you don't reach Masters this split or the next split doesn't mean it's unobtainable. When I first started this game, I was terrible at it. I was a bronze level player. I didn't know what was going on in any regard. But slowly, day by day, I put the time in, studied the game, and tried to understand everything that was going on. Eventually, I made it to Diamond and then was stuck again. But since Season 5, I've hit Masters multiple times. And one of the main reasons that I created this channel is to help others, because I know what it's like to be at the absolute bottom elo and now close to the top. I feel like I can help bridge the gap for a lot of the player base. A lot of great players at this game don't know how to articulate to the rest of the players what to do in order to get there, but I do. So no matter how much you're struggling this season, you gotta keep going. The only way out is through, and day by day, as long as you're improving, you're on your way. Rarely are things an overnight process, especially in Apex, so stay patient, and you guys got this. Before y'all go, I want to touch on one more thing. How to go about finding the teammates you need. Lots of you know I have a Discord where players can join to chat about Apex or find other teammates. But in order to find teammates that you are going to get along with and who aren't toxic, you gotta stay persistent. Because I know most of the time queuing up in an LFG, it won't work out. But on the rare occasion it does, well, you might find a solid teammate, and for a good while. It's always better than queuing up with randoms in these lobbies, because at least the player you're playing with can use their mic and you all can be on a similar wavelength. So you've just got to stay persistent in your search to find the right fit for the teammates that you need while you make this Masters push. I want to give a shout out to my teammates because I definitely wouldn't have made this video or hit Masters without them. If you guys made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. If you're looking for any Apex coaching sessions, the link to my Fiverr below has got you covered. Here's the clip of me skating, and I'll catch you guys on my next video. Peace.